I'm holding up three fingers right now because we're about to get into what are three of the best times to buy term life insurance. Now, before we even get into it, my name is Leo J, and I help my clients with life insurance, and I specifically focus on living benefits. Now, you guys might be asking me, what in the world are living benefits? I've heard about life insurance with a death benefit, but you're telling me that there's something called living benefits? Absolutely. So basically, my clients don't have to wait to pass away to use their life insurance policy. They don't have to wait to pass away to see their, their death benefit. They can see their death benefit while they're alive. It's called accelerated benefits, living benefits. It basically means if you, become sick, ill, or injured with a terminal, chronic, or critical illness, the insurance company is saying, listen, you don't have to wait to pass away to get this life insurance death benefit. You can get access to a portion, if not all, of your death benefit while you're alive. Those are living benefits. That's what I help my clients with, okay? That's what I'm talking about. All right, so we're going to talk about the three best times to buy term life insurance. But before we even get into it, we need to understand exactly what term life insurance is, okay? So in its most basic form, term life insurance is a type of insurance that covers you for a specific amount of time. And some common types of, examples when it comes to term insurance is 10 years, 20-year, or 30-year term policy. You are covered for that term, and if you pass away during that term, then the death benefit pays out to your beneficiary, okay? And so basically, if you outlive that term, so say for instance you have a 10-year term insurance policy, after that 10 years, you are no longer covered and you no longer have to pay. So now that we understand exactly what term life insurance is, we need to go ahead and dive into what are the three best times to buy term life insurance. But before we even get into it, another thing. Typically, with a lot of term insurance, the premium stays the same and the death benefit stays the same for the duration of the term, okay? It's very important to remember. All right, so the first best time to purchase term insurance is if you have a mortgage. So this works for people who are single, and this also works for couples, married couples or non-married couples. It works good for both situations, and let me explain to you why. Okay, so let's say for instance you are a single person. At the end of the day, if you are, you just got approved for your home, you got a mortgage, everything is good to go, you put a down payment on your house, and you are just feeling like you're on top of the world. At the end of the day, if you were to pass away before paying off that mortgage, more than likely you're going to want to pass that house on to somebody else who can, live in that house. And so a lot of people, they will buy a life insurance policy on themselves, and that way the person that they transfer the property to can use the death benefit to pay off the mortgage. Otherwise, if you're trying to pass off this property to somebody else in your family or a friend and they can't pay the mortgage, then what you're doing is you're not leaving behind a legacy. You are literally leaving behind a burden. So it's important, if you are single and you have a property, you have a house with a mortgage, they want to pass on to somebody else. If you were to pass away before paying off the mortgage, buying a term life insurance on yourself for the purpose of paying out a tax-free death benefit is going to be very, very helpful for anybody that you pass your house on to. They can use that death benefit to pay off the mortgage, they can pay the utilities, and they can also pay property tax. You don't want to leave behind a burden, especially when it's a legacy that you're trying to leave behind. So a lot of people who are single buy term insurance. Also, married couples or non-married couples, couples that are cohabitating, they will buy term insurance on one another, especially if they are both contributing towards the mortgage. So basically what happened is they'll buy term insurance on each other, and the term insurance will be for the length of the mortgage. So if you have a 20-year mortgage, then the couple will buy a 20-term insurance policy on one another. And then if one of the spouses were to unfortunately pass away before the mortgage is paid off, then the death benefit will go to the surviving spouse, so they don't have to worry about, not only losing a spouse, but now they don't have to worry about, also trying to figure out how am I going to pay off this house. It's nice to know that, term insurance, is a nice lifeline that, people can go to if that was to happen, okay? So mortgage protection is one of the best reasons to buy term insurance. The second best reason to buy term insurance is if you're trying to replace your income. So let's say, for instance, you are a couple, married or unmarried, that's your business, and you're about to bring in a new addition to the world, okay? Let's say, for instance, your girlfriend or your wife is pregnant and you guys are literally about to have a new bundle of joy, in the world. At the end of the day, God forbid, if one of you guys were to pass away and you guys are both bringing in income, then what you would do is you guys, again, will buy life insurance on one another. That way, if one of you guys were to pass away, your income can be replaced so that the surviving spouse and the dependents, like your children, can maintain a quality, a certain quality of life if you were to pass away. So if you are about a new baby into this world, you will buy a 20-year term because the term insurance will last up into, your child is an early adult. At that point in time, they're not going to need to depend on your income at that point in time, because you will hope by that time they will be stable enough to, be able to be making their own money. So you want to make sure that you can replace your income until your youngest child is in their early adulthood, where they don't need you as much financially, because at that point in time they should be financially stable. The third best time to buy term life insurance, if you have joint debt. Now, I don't co-sign on anybody co-signing on anybody else's debt. I don't care if it's student loans. I don't care if it's a credit card. I don't care if it's a lease. If you cannot afford it, you should not be trying to find somebody else to co-sign on something else, because once you find somebody else to co-sign on it, they also now own your debt. Okay? So, I say if you are going to break that rule and you are going to co-sign on your children's student loans, or perhaps you're going to co-sign on your children's lease, or maybe you may co-sign on somebody else's credit cards, which I do not recommend. If you do that, I say buy an insurance policy on that person who you're co-signing on their debt, because if they were to pass away before paying off that debt, now you own that debt right out. And your credit can be affected if you don't pay it. It could just ruin a lot of your financial life. So what you can do is you can buy a term insurance policy on the person who you are co-signing their debt. And you can use that because if they pass away before paying off that debt, then the death benefit will pay out to you, and you will be able to use that death benefit to pay off that debt, not mess up your credit score as well. So I say, if you're going to break the golden rule of co-signing on something or co-signing on some debt, just know that you are now an owner of that debt. And if that person passes away before paying off that debt, you now own this debt, and the insurance policy will be a nice lifeline to go to use the death benefit for the purpose of paying off that debt. I don't recommend co-signing, but if you're going to do it, at least you have a policy that you can rely on. All right, so those are the 3 best times to buy term life insurance. I'm not saying that those are the only times that you can buy life insurance, and I'm not saying that term life insurance is best for everybody, but these are 3 great reasons why you should consider buying term life insurance. So bada boom, bada bang, just like that. Those are the 3 best times when you should consider buying term life insurance. Now, you guys know what I want you to do. I want you to like, and I want you guys to share this video with family and friends, because everyone doesn't understand the difference between whole life and term and when to buy certain types of life insurance. So now you guys have a video where you can go back and watch and take notes and say, oh, I'm about to have a house. I'm about to buy my house. Maybe I need to consider buying a term insurance policy. I'm about to have a child. Perhaps I need to buy a term insurance policy to replace my income. I know I heard Leo in this video talk about not, co-signing on anybody's debt, but my kids are about to go to college and they need a co-signer. I'm gonna do it. But let me just make sure that I'm taking out an insurance policy on them to make sure if they were to pass away that I can, pay off their debt and I'm not, in a financial bind. So, I want you guys to consider term insurance for those reasons, okay? So what I want you to do, like and share the video. And if you feel so compelled, you realize that you're in one of these situations where you have a mortgage, or you're trying to replace your income, or you're already with joint debt, then what I want you to do right now, I want you to click the link in my bio and tap on the first button to speak to me and work with me one-to-one so we can get you a policy in place as soon as possible. At the end of the day, your term insurance policy is going to cover you for the term of the policy, and you have the ability to use that death benefit while you are alive. And if you don't know, with certain term insurance policies, if you don't pass away during that term, it's not like you wasted your money, because with certain options, if you outlive the policy, the insurance company will pay you all of your money back. Okay? Just like that. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you are going to reach out to me for help, what I want you to do is to first go to my highlights, okay? My highlights where it says states license. Those are all the states that I do business in, okay? I'm going to ask you, if you slide in my DMs, make sure that I'm licensed in one of the states that you live in. Just like that, okay? And then after that, click the link in my bio and tap on the first, second, or third tab, depending on your situation. I hope you guys enjoyed this message. Watch it over and over again and do what you have to do. And I want to make sure that you are living your absolute best life with term insurance as a lifeline. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.